If you're over 60 and feeling like your energy is draining away, your skin is losing its firmness, and your joints ache more than they used to, what I'm about to share could change everything. There's a common fruit that most people completely overlook, sitting right there in their kitchen, that has the power to naturally boost collagen production and restore energy levels in ways that honestly shocked me when I first discovered the research behind it. And the most frustrating part? Most of my patients over 60 aren't eating nearly enough of it. My name is Dr. Susan Miller, and I'm a board-certified physician specializing in nutritional medicine and healthy aging. Over the past 25 years, I've worked with thousands of patients struggling with the visible and invisible signs of aging, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that what you eat matters far more than most people realize, especially after 60. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss another health tip designed specifically for you. If you find this video helpful, please leave your questions and video suggestions in the comments below. I read every single one, and it helps me create more content to support people just like you. Now, let me tell you about Mrs. Margaret Thompson, a 72-year-old retired school teacher from Portland, Oregon. Margaret came to my office about 3 years ago, and I'll never forget the defeated look in her eyes. She told me she barely recognized herself anymore. Her skin had become paper-thin and bruised easily, her hair was thinning, her nails were brittle, and worst of all, she felt exhausted all the time. She said getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain, and playing with her grandchildren, something she used to love, had become almost impossible because her joints ached constantly. Margaret had tried everything, or so she thought. Expensive collagen supplements, energy drinks, vitamin pills by the handful. Nothing seemed to work. She was spending hundreds of dollars a month on products that promised to turn back the clock, but she was only getting more frustrated and more tired. When I asked about her diet, she mentioned she ate what she considered healthy, mostly cooked vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. But when I asked specifically about fresh fruits, particularly citrus fruits, she hesitated. She admitted she rarely ate them, maybe an apple here and there, but nothing consistent. That's when I explained something that completely changed her perspective. The fruit I'm talking about is actually a category, citrus fruits, with oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and kiwis leading the pack. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Oranges? That's it? That's the big secret? But hear me out, because the science behind why these fruits are so powerful for people over 60 is absolutely fascinating, and it goes way beyond just vitamin C. Here's what most people don't understand about collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body. It's literally the glue that holds you together, making up about 30% of your total protein content. It's in your skin, bones, tendons, ligaments, blood vessels, and even your gut lining. After age 60, your body's natural collagen production drops dramatically, by about 1 to 2% every year. This isn't just about wrinkles, though that's certainly part of it. This decline affects every system in your body, from your cardiovascular health to your digestive system, from your bone density to your joint function. Now, your body can make collagen, but it needs specific building blocks to do it. The most critical one is vitamin C, or ascorbic acid. Without adequate vitamin C, your body simply cannot synthesize collagen, period. No amount of expensive collagen powder will help if you don't have enough vitamin C to actually use it. And here's the kicker. Your body can't store vitamin C for long periods. You need a fresh supply every single day. Let me share another case that really drives this home. Mr. Robert Chen, a 68-year-old retired engineer from San Francisco, came to see me complaining of chronic fatigue and slow wound healing. Robert had undergone a minor surgery 6 months prior, and his incision was taking forever to heal properly. He was also experiencing frequent nosebleeds and noticed his gums bleeding when he brushed his teeth. When I ran his blood work, his vitamin C levels were in the basement. Robert worked long hours even in retirement, consulting for tech companies. and his diet consisted mainly of coffee, takeout, and processed foods. Fresh fruit was nowhere on his radar. I put Robert on a simple protocol: 2 oranges a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, plus a serving of kiwi or grapefruit. Within 3 weeks, his energy levels started improving. Within 2 months, his gums stopped bleeding, and his skin looked noticeably healthier. His wife even commented that he seemed years younger. But the most dramatic change was in his energy. Robert told me he felt like someone had turned the lights back on. He could focus better, work longer without fatigue, and even started exercising again, something he hadn't had the energy for in years. If you're still watching and finding this information valuable, drop a comment below to show you're following along. Your engagement really helps me know what content resonates with you. So why are citrus fruits so incredibly effective, especially after 60? Let me break down the science in a way that makes sense. First, vitamin C is absolutely essential for collagen synthesis. It's a cofactor, meaning without it, the enzymes that build collagen simply don't work. Your body takes amino acids like proline and lysine and converts them into collagen. But this conversion requires vitamin C at multiple steps. When you're deficient, even slightly deficient, this process grinds to a halt. Second, and this is something that shocked me when I first learned it, vitamin C is crucial for energy production at the cellular level. Your cells contain little powerhouses called mitochondria that generate ATP, the energy currency your body runs on. Vitamin C protects these mitochondria from oxidative damage and helps them function more efficiently. Studies have shown that adequate vitamin C levels can improve mitochondrial function by up to 40% in older adults. That translates directly to more energy, better mental clarity, and improved physical stamina. Third, citrus fruits contain powerful bioflavonoids, compounds like hesperidin, naringin, and quercetin. These aren't just antioxidants. They actively enhance vitamin C absorption and protect it from degradation in your body. They also have their own anti-inflammatory properties that help reduce the chronic inflammation that accelerates aging. This inflammation, often called inflammaging, is a major driver of age-related diseases and that constant fatigue many people over 60 experience. But wait, there's more that makes citrus fruits particularly beneficial. Let me tell you about Mrs. Linda Patterson, a 75-year-old grandmother from Seattle who had been struggling with varicose veins and poor circulation in her legs for years. Linda's legs would swell by the end of the day, and she had developed visible spider veins that made her self-conscious. She also complained of cold hands and feet, even in warm weather, and occasional dizziness when standing up quickly. Linda was skeptical when I suggested increasing her citrus fruit intake, particularly grapefruits and oranges. She wanted something more medical, more dramatic. But I explained that the bioflavonoids in citrus fruits, especially a compound called hesperidin, found in orange peel and the white pith, strengthen blood vessel walls and improve circulation. These compounds help reduce capillary permeability and fragility, which is exactly what causes varicose veins and poor circulation. Linda agreed to try it, eating 2 oranges daily and making sure to consume some of the white pith, not just the flesh. She also started drinking freshly squeezed grapefruit juice a few times a week. After about 6 weeks, she noticed her legs weren't swelling as much. After 3 months, the spider veins had faded noticeably, and her circulation had improved so much that her cold hands and feet were finally warm. She told me she felt like she'd gotten a new pair of legs. Now, let's talk about energy, because this is where things get really interesting. Many people over 60 complain of afternoon energy crashes, that 3 o'clock slump where you can barely keep your eyes open. This isn't just about getting older. It's often related to blood sugar regulation and cellular energy production, both areas where citrus fruits can make a significant difference. Mr. James Rodriguez, a 63-year-old contractor from Miami, came to me exhausted and frustrated. Despite sleeping 8 hours a night, he'd wake up tired, drag through his morning, get a small burst of energy after lunch, and then crash hard by mid-afternoon. He was drinking multiple cups of coffee and energy drinks just to make it through the day. His blood sugar was creeping up, pre-diabetic range, and he was worried about developing full diabetes like his father had. James's diet was heavy on refined carbs, white bread, pasta, sugary snacks to combat fatigue. I explained that these were actually making his energy crashes worse by causing blood sugar spikes and crashes. We restructured his diet, and a key component was starting each day with a whole grapefruit or 2 oranges, and having kiwi as an afternoon snack instead of cookies or chips. The transformation was remarkable. The fiber in whole citrus fruits, along with their natural sugars and vitamin C, provided steady energy without the spike and crash. The vitamin C improved his mitochondrial function, giving him more sustained cellular energy. Within a month, James had stopped drinking energy drinks entirely. His afternoon crashes disappeared, and his blood sugar levels started normalizing. He told me he hadn't felt this energetic and clear-headed since his 40s. If that surprised you, wait until you hear about the bone health connection. This is something most people don't realize, but it's absolutely critical, especially for women over 60. Mrs. Dorothy Williams, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Chicago, had been diagnosed with osteopenia, the precursor to osteoporosis. Her doctor had told her to take calcium and vitamin D, which she did religiously, but her bone density scans weren't improving much. She was terrified of falling and breaking a hip, like several of her friends had. What Dorothy didn't know is that collagen makes up about 90% of your bone matrix. Bones aren't just hard calcium deposits. They're a living tissue with a collagen framework that calcium and other minerals attach to. Without adequate collagen, your bones become brittle and weak, no matter how much calcium you take. And remember, you can't make collagen without vitamin C. I had Dorothy add 3 servings of citrus fruits to her daily routine: oranges, kiwis, and grapefruit, rotating them for variety. She also increased her protein intake to provide the amino acids needed for collagen synthesis. After 1 year, her bone density scan showed improvement for the first time in 5 years. Her doctor was amazed. Dorothy told me she felt more stable on her feet, her confidence returned, and she was no longer living in fear of fractures. The gut health connection is another area that fascinates me. Your gut lining regenerates completely every few days, and this rapid regeneration requires massive amounts of collagen. When you're low on vitamin C and collagen production slows, your gut lining can become permeable, leading to what's often called leaky gut. This can cause inflammation throughout your body, digestive issues, food sensitivities, and even mood problems. Mrs. Elizabeth Martinez, a 69-year-old artist from Austin, Texas, had been dealing with irritable bowel syndrome for years. Bloating, cramping, unpredictable bowel movements, it was affecting her quality of life significantly. She'd tried various diets, elimination protocols, and medications with limited success. When I reviewed her diet, she was eating barely any fresh fruits, worried they would upset her stomach. I started her slowly with easily digestible citrus, beginning with fresh orange juice diluted with water, then progressing to whole mandarins and eventually oranges and kiwis. The vitamin C and collagen support helped heal her gut lining, and the natural fiber helped regulate her digestion. The bioflavonoids reduced inflammation in her digestive tract. Within 3 months, Elizabeth's symptoms had improved by about 70%. She could eat a wider variety of foods without discomfort, and she told me she felt like she'd gotten her life back. Now, I want to talk about something that might surprise you: the mental clarity and mood connection. Mr. Thomas Baker, a 74-year-old retired accountant from Boston, came to see me because he was experiencing what he called brain fog. He couldn't concentrate like he used to, would forget names and appointments, and felt mentally sluggish. He was worried about dementia, though his cognitive tests were actually normal for his age. Here's something most people don't know. Your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy and is highly susceptible to oxidative stress. Vitamin C is one of the most concentrated nutrients in your brain, and levels decline with age. Adequate vitamin C protects neurons from oxidative damage, supports neurotransmitter synthesis, and improves blood flow to the brain through its effects on blood vessels. I had Thomas focus on getting 2 to 3 servings of vitamin C-rich fruits daily, primarily oranges, kiwis, and grapefruit. Within 6 weeks, he reported feeling sharper. His memory improved, he could focus on tasks longer, and the brain fog lifted. His wife noticed the difference too, saying he seemed more like his old self. The combination of improved cellular energy, better circulation, and antioxidant protection had made a real difference in his cognitive function. Comment below if you're learning something new about how powerful these simple fruits can be. Let's talk about skin health because this is where people see some of the most visible results. Mrs. Patricia Anderson, a 66-year-old real estate agent from Phoenix, was distressed about her skin. Living in the Arizona sun for decades had taken its toll. Her skin was dry, crepey, with deep wrinkles around her eyes and mouth. She had age spots and complained that her skin looked dull and lifeless. She'd spent thousands on creams and serums, but nothing seemed to make a real difference. I explained to Patricia that topical treatments can only do so much. Real skin health comes from the inside out. Your skin is your largest organ, and it's one of the first places your body will pull resources from when you're deficient in nutrients. Collagen gives your skin structure, elasticity, and hydration. When collagen production drops, your skin loses volume, develops wrinkles, and becomes thin and fragile. Patricia committed to eating 3 oranges or 2 kiwis daily, sometimes both. She also ate the white pith of oranges, which contains even more bioflavonoids than the flesh. After 2 months, she noticed her skin looked more hydrated and plump. After 4 months, her fine lines had softened noticeably, and her skin had a healthy glow she hadn't seen in years. By 6 months, even her age spots had lightened somewhat, and her skin texture had improved dramatically. She told me she was getting compliments from clients who wanted to know what cosmetic procedures she'd had done. When she told them it was just oranges and kiwis, they didn't believe her. Here's another critical point about wound healing and immune function. Mr. David Thompson, a 67-year-old veteran from Atlanta, had developed a small cut on his leg that wouldn't heal. What should have taken a week or 2 had persisted for over 2 months. His doctor was concerned about infection and poor circulation. David also caught every cold and flu that went around, and when he got sick, it would knock him out for weeks. Vitamin C is absolutely essential for immune function and wound healing. It supports the production and function of white blood cells, enhances antibody responses, and is required for the formation of new tissue during healing. When you're deficient, even slightly, your immune system becomes sluggish, and wounds heal slowly or poorly. I had David dramatically increase his citrus intake, aiming for at least 300 milligrams of vitamin C daily from whole fruits, which is easily achievable with 2 large oranges and a kiwi. Within 2 weeks, his wound finally started closing properly. Within a month, it was completely healed. And over the next 6 months, David noticed he wasn't getting sick nearly as often, and when he did catch something, he recovered much faster. His immune system had essentially been rebuilt. Now, let me address something important. You might be wondering, can't I just take a vitamin C supplement? Why bother with the whole fruit? This is a great question, and the answer is nuanced. Yes, vitamin C supplements can help if you're deficient, but whole citrus fruits provide something. Supplements can't. The complete package of nutrients working synergistically together. Mrs. Helen Cooper, a 71-year-old librarian from Denver, had been taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C in supplement form for years. She thought she had her bases covered, but she was still experiencing many of the symptoms of deficiency, fatigue, poor skin health, slow healing. When I explained that synthetic vitamin C, while useful, lacks the bioflavonoids, fiber, and other phytonutrients that make vitamin C from whole foods so much more effective, she was skeptical but willing to try. Helen started eating 2 oranges and 1 or 2 kiwis daily while continuing her supplement. Within weeks, she noticed a difference she hadn't experienced with the supplement alone. Her energy improved, her skin looked better, and she just felt healthier overall. The whole food approach provided better absorption, longer-lasting effects, and additional health benefits the supplement couldn't match. Let me talk about the best ways to incorporate these fruits into your daily routine, because consistency is key. You don't need to eat 10 oranges a day or make this complicated. Start with one serving at breakfast, maybe a whole orange or grapefruit, or 2 kiwis cut in half and eaten with a spoon. Have another serving as an afternoon snack. If you tolerate citrus well, aim for 2 to 3 servings daily. Mrs. Janet Lewis, a 64-year-old teacher from Nashville, told me she struggled with consistency. She'd eat healthy for a few days, then fall off track. I suggested she prep her citrus fruits ahead of time. Every Sunday, she'd peel and section oranges, cut kiwis, and prepare grapefruit, storing them in containers in her fridge. This made it incredibly easy to grab and eat them throughout the week. She also started her day with a ritual: warm water with fresh lemon juice, which not only provided vitamin C, but also helped with hydration and digestion. Janet found that this simple prep routine made all the difference. She went from rarely eating citrus to consuming 2 to 3 servings daily without even thinking about it. Within 2 months, she had more energy, her skin looked better, and she told me she felt years younger. The key was removing the barriers and making it as easy as possible. Here's something else to consider. The timing of when you eat these fruits can matter. Vitamin C enhances iron absorption, so if you're dealing with anemia or low iron, which is common in older adults, eating citrus with iron-rich foods or supplements can significantly improve absorption. On the flip side, if you're taking certain medications, you'll want to check with your doctor, as grapefruit in particular can interact with some drugs by affecting how they're metabolized. Mr. William Sanders, a 73-year-old retired police officer from Philadelphia, was anemic despite taking iron supplements. His doctor had suggested he might need infusions if his levels didn't improve. I recommended he eat an orange or drink fresh orange juice with his iron supplement. Within 3 months, his iron levels had risen significantly, enough that infusions were no longer necessary. The vitamin C had made his supplementation finally effective. Now, I want to address a concern some people have about sugar content in fruits. Yes, citrus fruits contain natural sugars, but they also contain fiber, which slows sugar absorption and prevents blood sugar spikes. The benefits of the vitamin C, bioflavonoids, and other nutrients far outweigh any concerns about natural fruit sugars, especially when you're eating the whole fruit, not just drinking juice. Mrs. Carol Stevens, a 68-year-old with type 2 diabetes from San Diego, was initially afraid to eat fruit because her previous doctor had told her fruit was just sugar. But her blood sugar wasn't well controlled despite avoiding fruit, and she had many symptoms of vitamin C deficiency. I explained that whole citrus fruits, with their fiber content, could actually help stabilize blood sugar while providing essential nutrients. Carol started with half a grapefruit at breakfast and 1 orange as a snack, monitoring her blood sugar carefully. Not only did her blood sugar remain stable, but over time, her overall glucose control improved. Her energy increased, her skin health improved, and she felt better than she had in years. She realized that eliminating all fruit had been counterproductive and that moderate amounts of whole citrus were actually beneficial for her health. Let me share one more powerful story. Mrs. Ruth Harrison, an 82-year-old grandmother from Minneapolis, came to see me feeling defeated. She told me she was just trying to maintain her independence and not be a burden to her children. Her energy was so low she could barely cook for herself. Her joints ached constantly, and she'd had several falls that terrified her family. She was on the verge of moving to assisted living, something she desperately didn't want. I did a comprehensive nutritional assessment, and Ruth was deficient in multiple nutrients, including vitamin C. Her diet consisted mostly of canned soups, crackers, and tea. Fresh fruits and vegetables were nearly absent. I worked with her daughter to ensure Ruth had fresh oranges, kiwis, and grapefruit available every single day. Her daughter would peel oranges and prepare kiwis to make them easier for Ruth to eat. The change was gradual but profound. After 1 month, Ruth had more energy and wasn't napping as much during the day. After 3 months, Her joint pain had decreased noticeably, and she was moving more easily. After 6 months, she was cooking for herself again, walking to the nearby park, and her family agreed she could stay in her own home. Ruth told me that eating those fruits every day had given her back her independence and her dignity. She cried when she said it, and honestly, so did I. So what's the bottom line here? Citrus fruits, oranges, grapefruits, lemons, kiwis are not magic bullets, but they are incredibly powerful tools for healthy aging, especially after 60. They provide the vitamin C essential for collagen production, support energy production at the cellular level, strengthen blood vessels, support immune function, promote gut health, protect brain function, improve skin health, and so much more. And the best part? They're affordable, accessible, and delicious. Here's what I recommend you do starting today. First, add 2 to 3 servings of citrus fruits to your daily routine. An orange with breakfast, kiwi as a snack, grapefruit with lunch. Find what works for you and make it consistent. Second, eat the whole fruit when possible, not just juice. The fiber and additional nutrients in the whole fruit are important. Third, don't forget the white pith on oranges and grapefruits. That's where many of the beneficial bioflavonoids are concentrated. Fourth, variety matters. Rotate between different citrus fruits to get a broader range of nutrients. Oranges, mandarins, grapefruits, lemons, limes, kiwis, each has a slightly different nutritional profile. Fifth, be patient. You might notice some changes within weeks, like improved energy, but other benefits like skin health and collagen rebuilding take months. Stick with it. And most importantly, talk to your doctor about your specific situation. If you're on medications, especially statins, blood pressure medications, or blood thinners, check about any interactions, particularly with grapefruit. If you have kidney issues, you may need to moderate vitamin C intake. A good doctor will appreciate that you're taking charge of your health through nutrition. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean declining. Yes, your body changes after 60, but with the right nutritional support, you can maintain your energy, vitality, independence, and quality of life far longer than you might think. Something as simple as eating a couple of oranges every day can make a profound difference in how you feel and function. I want to thank you for watching today. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and let me know in the comments what changes you're going to make. Are you already eating citrus regularly? What benefits have you noticed? Or are you going to start today? I read every comment, and your experiences help other viewers too. Remember, you have more power over your health than you realize. Small, consistent changes, like adding more citrus fruits to your daily routine, can lead to remarkable improvements over time. You deserve to feel your best at every age, and I'm here to help you get there. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video with more health tips designed specifically for you.